Hello, everybody. Welcome back with another episode of the Wilde Cabin Podcast. Ooh, we have a lot to try to fit in on this episode. If you were listening to the previous week's episode, because like I said, I am trying to pump this out now Mondays and Fridays for 30 minutes a pop at least, and that was sort of the premiere. That was like the teaser, be like, hey big boy, look at me. But it's interesting, and I really liked how it went. And season 3, here I am, the first official episode, and it was gonna be about love and breakups, because that was the biggest remark that they wanted my feedback on. And I'm gonna finally dive into it. I'm gonna finally dive in the topic of love. Let's just turn down the volume. Let's turn down the lights. And now you're with me. Oh, but real talk, love is the only emotion that could hurt you and pleasure you, if you really think about it. Because once you give love to someone and you give your heart and emotion to someone, they could tear it down. Or vice versa, you just lose your feelings for them. And it's such a hard thing. But then they could do something so bad, be a steal, cheat, whatever, and it breaks you emotionally. And everything is crazy with the word love, where everybody will feel something different towards somebody else. That's just what love is, where you could love is indescribable. And that's what I like to put it as, where you could meet so many people and you could create so many connections, but not love any of them. And then you meet one last person and you never met them, yet you feel this, how do I put it? Like I said, it is indescribable, but you feel something that you've never felt before. That's it. Because once you could love somebody and then they break your heart, and then you meet somebody else, and then you're introduced to another feeling, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's different than what you felt love before. So it's concerning, it's scary, etc., etc. That's what a lot of people want my ideas about. And it's so weird, if I'm gonna be honest. It's so scary that a lot of people have been hurt. And does it surprise me? No. If I'm gonna be honest with you, no. Personally, it's this year alone, I've seen and studied a lot of couples just being in their presence 24/7 because of COVID, and it just destroys them. It's like, I don't want to deal with you. I just don't want to deal with you. And a healthy relationship is something that you need to know before even going in the topic, where what do you want in a gentleman, a wife, or anything else in between. It goes to, you gotta know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want and you're just diving head first and just seeing what's out there, I've heard that so many times over the years, where it's just like, you know what, I'll see what's out there and then I'll dive right into it. There is several cases of love where you have love that genuinely comes from the heart. There is lust that just want the sexual attention and distraction. And then you mix those two, and then unfortunately there's the world called cheating, which eventually maybe I'll dive into, but that's just a no. For me, that's a no. I personally will not go on the topic of multiple partners because I can't fathom it. I cannot fathom it. I give you credit, but I just don't understand that. That has increased about like 200% in the last 5 years, where nobody wants love anymore. It's just, okay, I just want sex, and there you go, boom, bada bing, bada boom, stick it in and go. I'm not gonna comment on that because that's not, for me, that's not what love is and will never be, in my opinion. Where if you think so, great, be like, oh man, I'm one of these people's partners, and I like that, where we're not connected, but we just use each other for sex, we get the tension off during the week. Cool. I support that 100% if that works for you, as long as you're both on it. If one person feels like, oh man, I'm loving you, and you don't know it, and then you go in the rabbit hole of, yeah, we're just gonna continue to make love and passion. No, you talk that over, where you're like, oh my god, this person I care about, but not necessarily love. Maybe they're getting the wrong idea. You got to talk that over. But nevertheless, love is simply a bitch. if I'm gonna be honest, where it's an amazing feeling. It could keep a man going for hours, deserted, hungry. It could keep a man alive for hours. Just the will to live, and a partner could give you that motivation. Just be like, that chip off your shoulder is there for them, And like I said, this is my idea of it. And have I ever been in love? Absolutely. Where as soon as I met that person, I knew straight from the get-go, I'm going in. I'm going in, I'm risking it all, I'm putting all the chips on the table, and boom. And that's it. That's my experience, where I was at a point in my life where I was getting back on the horse. If I'm gonna be honest, I was getting back on the horse. The world hit me wall to wall to wall to wall, and I was in a box. And I'm like, I finally broke down the box, and I started moving on, and I put myself out there, and I knew what I wanted, and it was a crapshoot. It was just like, man, I didn't want to be picky, but I knew what I wanted. Boom, 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 boom. And the stars aligned, and pachinko bingo. And I personally, I don't believe in luck to a certain extent, but my views have changed via luck and fate, because the odds of the possibility of finding exactly what you want, exactly what you needed at that current point in time in this universe, over 6 billion people, yeah, you gotta get some luck. And for me, a thing that I always believed in is love could be anywhere. I don't know what it was, via a TV show or a movie or a book that I read when I was younger, but it was, no, I actually remember now. Whoa. It was a show about millionaires finding love. $1 Million Matchmaker. That's what it is. Don't judge me on that. But it was a love show, and when I was younger, that was one of her catchphrases. And love could be anywhere. Love could be anywhere. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be a block from you. It could be across the world. It doesn't matter. That is what true love is. Love would make you do crazy, stupid things for this one person, because it feels right and they like it as well. It's a mutual thing. And one thing about me that with everybody I have, and if you're in a new relationship, or you're looking for somebody, is don't change who you are. You could improve, be like, oh, okay, I have this bad sleeping habit, I want to fix it for them. Boom, there you go. But don't personality change or whatever, don't look change, just be yourself, because if they don't like you for you, simply F them. Not F them, but F them in the way of get them out of your life. Maybe you're just better off as a friend, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. This is me. I love myself. If you don't like it, shoo fly, don't bother me. That's the chip on your shoulder. Be like, oh, Joe, that sounds so mean. No, it's not so mean. Within the first month if it's compatible. Be like, oh, no, that's not right. A month? That's too little. No. I said compatible. Okay? There are different forms of compatibility via girlfriend, boyfriend, partners, friends, lovers, husband and wife, wife and wife. In between everything in the world, the compatibility you will know within a month, and meeting them and living with them. That is the 3 things that you need to know. Where do you see them as? Be like, can they talk? Can they express themselves? That's one thing that not a lot of love have. Which is weird, because I don't comprehend that. Within a lot of studies, they don't express themselves. They express themselves until it's too late. And for me, I normally admit when I mess up. Be like, oh, I messed up, I tapped out. I want to let you know I apologize, and what can we do to resolve this? I'm that type of person where I'm just like, I won't over apologize at all. But if I see I screwed up, be like, hey. And don't be afraid to talk with somebody, and if they screwed up, be like, hey, this really hurt me, or why'd you do that? I want to get inside your head. If they back away from the topic, if they make you the bad guy, or don't accept that they did anything wrong, even though you have proof, oh, you're in a hole. You're in a hole. Where I believe once a liar, always a liar. Where the first real trouble, you got to get that out of the way. You can't force it. Don't go push an old lady off the walker, be like, oh, my hip, hun, why'd you do that? I just want to talk about my feelings. No, because unfortunately, via the man and the woman, it's a scientific fact that you will remember majority of the negatives than the positives about that person once you're in the dating process, where you're like, oh man, I hate their taste in music. I hate that. Maybe we're not the best compatible people, or the food. Oh man, they ate some weird flipping stuff. Where if they're vegetarian, I'm a meat eater. That is one of the most common fights out there. I don't know why I couldn't say the word fight. And it is insane, because you gotta respect them, what they eat, and they have to respect you. Where if you try to convert them, that's your struggle. If you want to go down that, but no matter what, they should accept you for you. But in the other hand, if you want to be better, then you'll get on the same diet. It's very complicated, but that is one of the biggest fights. The 3 topics about fights are money, sex, and food. If you could believe that. Food. But with obesity going on, people not wanting to work out, it was very hard within the 2-year study, and it makes sense, but I just don't understand that. Money and sex is definitely have always been the top 2, where financial situation, that's the hardest point, because you need to, for me, I believe I live under my means. God forbid if something happens, I could take care of it immediately. Some people live over their means, and like, I need the fanciest stuff I need, and if you can't support me, get out. And that's up to you. That's up to you. Where it's a giving and receiving act, not in the sexual way, which, I mean, it's 50-50 right there. But it's with gifts and everything. People need to hear this, where you cannot buy love. You could buy everything else. You could buy affection. You could buy lust. Everybody has a price. Be like, oh, Joe, I don't have a price. Trust me, if $1 million was right in front of your face, or whatever your amount was, boom, it'd be tempting. It'd be tempting to be like, oh, blah blah blah. And this is like when you're single, you're not with everybody, boom. But you cannot buy love. I was gonna say you can't buy someone's heart, but that's probably true. You can just go, here's a heart, here you go. But it is a cruel mistress, and there are only 2 women, or, well, I don't even count love as a woman. I say it's a mistress as a figure of speech, but Mother Nature is the other, bitch. But those 2, it's crazy, because you need to get on the same wavelength, where a physical body, where maybe you're not physical, maybe you're just like, I want something more emotional, but this person wants something more physical. I don't know what to do here. Be like, simple, talk it out with them. Talk it out. Most people think about sex 3/4 of the day with their partner, and if you don't like that, if that makes you feel uncomfortable, and if you say, I need a break, then they better respect that. They better respect that, because you need to understand something. If you're a man or a woman, you are rich in the way of your body is your temple. That is yours. You could lock it, you could unlock it. That is your temple. Simple but stupid. No means no. And if they don't respect that, you better get some help. You better get help, because you should never ever be afraid of the people that you love. And that's just the cold stone truth. That is simply the truth, where love can make you do crazy things, and I mean that. And sometimes that crazy does not equal good. It doesn't. It does not. And via children could get involved. That could pull hair out of your faith. And the one thing that I want more people to know about, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out for a reason. Where it could be something obvious, it could not be. Could be something you don't know. But all love may not last. And that's the harsh reality, but it's true. And the question that you need to ask yourself during that reprieve, because, if you love someone and they did something to hurt you, yeah, it's gonna sting. There are some people that will get right back on the horse and giddy up, man. That was supposed to be a horse. But it's one of those things where you could get back on the saddle or you can't. That's okay. If you need some time to reprieve and be like, this is a new chapter in my life, I want to focus on me, I deserve someone better, I don't want to go back. And if they come crawling back, unfortunately, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time, that ain't gonna happen. You deserve what you want. And the biggest question that I got via emails is, I don't know what I want. Simple. You gotta figure that shit out. You gotta figure that out before anything. Be like, I talked a little about it earlier. Be like, I just want to see what's out there. You're shooting yourself in the foot if you say that, because you're lowering your expectations, or you're not going in 100%. Where there's 2 types of people that will actively look for it. You're gonna go on those apps. You're gonna go on dates. it is still possible meeting people in public, by the way. But for a lot of introverts, apps are just the easier way to go. They'll find people that compatibility wise, there are tests out there. There are so many things out there that will help you find what you want. Be like, not just look wise, be like, okay, maybe I want them to be great with kids. Only way to find out is if they have kids or introduce them to kids. It's a trust factor. I don't want to go in too fast or too slow. Talk about it. That's the biggest query that I still don't understand. Talk about the stuff that you want with them and be like, hey, I think there's no shame in going on a date and really having a spiritual talk. Be like, oh, hey, what religion are you? What do you want kids? Do you have kids? Been in prison? Stuff like that, where I don't understand, where it's okay to ask. It truly is. And if they're thrown off by it, be like, let them be thrown off, as long as they answer the damn question. Be like, there are strong women and strong men out there that are just like, okay. And if a date goes fine and they're not what you're looking for, be like, like I said, be like, hey, I think we'll be better off friends. And if they don't reply, all right, that's the funny thing. If they don't reply, or they reply of, or they just give you the cold shoulder, guess what? That saved you a problem in the future. Be like, that shows what kind of person they are, where it's not your fault. You did everything. You put in the effort. You did the grind. No. Stop beating yourself up that stuff's not your fault. That's it. A lot of people put themselves out there, and then they get rejected or they get ghosted. It's not your fault. You did everything. You are who you are. Why would you want to change yourself for someone that doesn't even give a damn about you? That doesn't make sense. But hey, you're living in the moment. It's human nature to live in the moment, but it's okay. Give it a day. And put that chin up high. Be like, I'm worth it, damn it. And then fix your tie or shirt and be like, oh, there you go. Put yourself out there. But it's gonna be all right. And that's what I want to say to the majority of the people that are sending me these emails about, I just got out of a relationship, I figured out I was cheated on. This person doesn't give me enough attention. It's gonna be all right. And it's silly to say it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay, via with them or without them. But you gotta talk about it. You gotta talk about that. Where you have the connection with them. I don't. You gotta see what works for you, and that's the hardest topic about love, because it's crazy. It's crazy how love could happen, and I think it's going in an acceptable manner. I don't comprehend why there is fights over who you love. I don't understand it. Families being torn apart, war. It doesn't comprehend to me, because I'm silly, and I said this before. It was cool, but love is love. Simple, stupid. As long as it's the age requirement, another human being, that's fine. Love is love. Who gives a damn? Boy, girl, trans, be who you want to be. That's the goal of life, isn't it? You're here on earth for a reason. You want to live your best life, and the people that are holding you down back, be like, don't do that, or they're gonna threaten to kick you out of the house or whatever. I don't comprehend it. I truly don't. And if you want to go across country for love, love is everywhere, but be smart about it. Be smart about it. Where if they're taking your money, if you're sending them money because you feel bad, like, where is it going? Where is it going? If you've never video chatted with them before and you think it's a scam, it's common sense. Be like, oh, I don't need common sense, they've shown me pictures. That's you. And the harsh reality is, be smart. Be smart. Say it with me. Be smart. Where are you ready to risk everything you have for that one person? That's the factor of love right there. Are you ready to risk it all? And that's the crazy game about life, is you don't know what your last call is, but are you ready to risk it all? That's for you to decide. That's truly for you to decide. But you'll know. I'm not gonna tell you. Be like, I'd love to keep you guys updated about emails. So keep them coming. I'd love to hear your stories. Be like, Joe, you were wrong, or you were right. This is how I feel about love. By all means, send them an email. Send me an email. It's going to be in the description down below. I love it. I truly do, because I love hearing all the stories, the forbidden love. I want to leave off with this. Somebody's going to get hurt via a breakup. And that's another reality where it's sad, but so true. And people don't realize that, where you're gonna be heartbroken, or they're gonna be heartbroken, or you're both gonna be heartbroken for a while. And I think anger just fuels the body after a breakup, and you don't realize it, because you're just like, they hurt me, or I hurt them, F them, I don't care about them anymore. And that's the reality, where you need to move on, but you gotta understand, leave them alone. Leave them alone, please. Where at a certain time, you need to say, I want to start a new chapter in my life. I want to focus on me. It's not that you don't care about them anymore, but you gotta have that mentality where they hurt me. I gotta be guarded now. I gotta have a turtle shell on my back now, because I don't want to get stabbed in the back, nor do I want to get stabbed in the front. And maybe there are mutual breakups out there, but this isn't working. Handshake and one last kiss goodbye. But it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, and that's really the reality. Where you deserve better. You need to move on. They hurt you, and that's it. And I'm gonna leave it at this as well. If you messed up, okay, and you cheated, stole, well, that's mainly about it. Cheated and stealing. If you did that to your partner and they don't know it yet, you better confess. If you love them, you better confess. And that's one thing as well. They're not gonna find out. They're stupid. They're not gonna find out. They will. A friend's gonna tell them. A family member's gonna tell them. That's just the world works. But if you love them enough and you admit it's something stupid, there are ways to fix that via therapy, talking it over. Don't go just buying them gifts, because they'll be smart enough to figure you out. But just be like, hey, I sit them down, talk about it, be like, I love you. This was a moment of weakness. X, Y, and Z happened. I'm not going to say it's right. Talking it over is the first step. But I hope I cleared everything about love. I hope I dived in a little bit and gave you a little taste. But if you want to hear more about this topic, please do send me an email at mrjoewilde@yahoo.com. Or actually, I don't think you can leave comments, but if you can, by all means do it. But I really love doing this now, and that I'm doing it twice a week. It's gonna make season 3 go a little bit faster. but hopefully a little longer as well. But thank you everybody for watching. This has been Mr. Joe Wilde. I hope you're happy because you made me happy. Take care, and I'll see you all real soon. See you Monday. Bye-bye.